Canadian Muslim student shocks the school when she responds to bullies that called her a walking tent. "Take that tent off your head, terrorist!" The words echoed through Eastgate Secondary's hallway as 16-year-old Maryam walked to her locker. But what happened next shocked everyone, including the girl who said it. Because Maryam's response didn't just silence her bully, it changed the entire school forever. Maryam was not what anyone expected a Muslim girl to look like. With striking blue eyes inherited from her Canadian father and the determined spirit of her Palestinian-Canadian mother, she moved through the halls of Eastgate Secondary like she owned them. And in a way, she did. Born and raised in Mississauga, Maryam spoke English as her first language, played on the school's debate team, and had been class president twice. The only thing that marked her as different was the colorful hijab she wore with pride, and the three girls who had made it their mission to destroy her for it. But Maryam had been preparing for this battle her whole life. Sarah, Jessica, and Priyanka had been best friends since grade 9. They considered themselves the school's diversity ambassadors. Sarah was student council president, Jessica ran the interfaith club, and Amanda wrote for the school newspaper about women's rights. Their campaign against Maryam was systematic and cruel. "Why do you make yourself look so ugly?" Sarah would whisper as she passed Maryam's desk. "You have such pretty eyes. Why are you hiding like you're ashamed?" Jessica, who wore a cross necklace daily, was more direct. "This is Canada, Maryam. Your father can't force you to dress like that anymore. You're free now." Priyanka would corner her after class. "Don't you want boys to find you attractive? Don't you have any self-confidence? You look like you're wearing a tent." For 3 weeks, this psychological warfare continued. They expected Maryam to break, to cry, to run home to her parents. They had no idea what was coming. Each morning before school, Maryam sat with her mother Layla in their Mississauga kitchen, reviewing what they called the knowledge arsenal. "Remember, Habibti," her mother would say, "when Allah commands the believing women in Surah Al-Ahzab to draw their outer garments around them, He's not oppressing us. He's protecting our dignity. That is more suitable that they will be known and not be abused." Maryam would nod, reciting back, and in Surah An-Nur, Allah tells believing women to draw their veils over their bosoms, not to hide our beauty, but to preserve it for those who deserve it. But Layla had taught her daughter something most Muslims didn't think about it, and something that would become Maryam's secret weapon. Maryam, her mother had said one evening, showing her images on her laptop, "Do you see Mary, the mother of Jesus, peace be upon him in Christian art? Yes, Mama. She's always wearing hijab, just like us." Exactly. Their own beloved figure wore exactly what they're trying to shame you for wearing. They honor her for her modesty, but attack you for yours. That's not logic, that's hypocrisy. And when they confront you, you'll be ready. It happened on a Tuesday during lunch break. Maryam was sitting alone, reading a book about Islamic history, when Sarah approached with her entire crew and half the cafeteria watching. "Hey, tent girl," Sarah announced loudly. "We've been talking, and we want to help you. This is 2025, not the Middle Ages. You don't have to live like a prisoner anymore." The cafeteria buzzed with attention. This was the showdown everyone had been expecting. Maryam looked up calmly, her blue eyes meeting Sarah's with unwavering confidence. "That's very kind of you to offer, Sarah. But before I consider your help, can I ask you something?" "Sure," Sarah smirked, thinking she had already won. "I see you wear that cross necklace every day. You respect Mary, the mother of Jesus, right?" "Of course. She's the most important woman in Christianity." "Perfect." Maryam pulled out her phone and opened her photo album. "Then explain to me why every single image of Mary in Christian art shows her wearing exactly what I'm wearing right now." The cafeteria fell completely silent as Maryam held up her phone, scrolling through image after image: the Sistine Chapel, medieval paintings, modern church windows. Every depiction of Mary showed her with her hair covered. Sarah's face drained of color. That's different. That was cultural back then. Was it?" Maryam stood up, her voice carrying across the silent cafeteria. "Your own Bible, 1 Corinthians 11, verse 5, says any woman who prays with her head uncovered dishonors herself. Are you saying Paul was wrong? Are you saying Mary was oppressed? Jessica jumped in desperately. But that's Old Testament stuff. We don't follow that anymore. Actually, that's New Testament, Maryam replied with a slight smile. And if you don't follow it, then why do your nuns still cover their hair? Why does every Catholic school require head coverings during Mass? Why do Amish women wear bonnets? Are they all oppressed too? The crowd was now pressing closer, mesmerized by this blue-eyed girl dismantling their assumptions with surgical precision. You asked about self-confidence? Maryam's voice grew stronger. Let me tell you about confidence. I wake up every morning and put on my hijab, and I'm done. I don't spend an hour on makeup trying to meet beauty standards created by men. I don't starve myself to fit into clothes designed to sexualize my body. I don't post selfies begging for validation from boys who see me as an object. When someone talks to me, they have to engage with my mind, my character, my soul. That is confidence, being valued for who I am, not what I look like. Priyanka tried one last attack, but your father forces you to wear it. Maryam laughed, a sound that rang through the cafeteria like a bell. My father? Sarah, my father is a white Muslim Canadian Bevskrim. He was terrified when I told him I wanted to wear the hijab at 15. Although he knew it was required, he said it was too early because he worried about exactly what you three have been doing to me. I chose to follow Allah's guidance despite his concerns, and since then, he has fully supported my decision. My hijab is my choice, my strength, my connection to God. It's the same choice Mary made, the same choice your nuns make, the same choice billions of women throughout history have made to prioritize spiritual beauty over physical display. The cafeteria erupted in applause. Students who had never spoken to Maryam approached her, asking questions about Islam, about hijab, about the images she'd shown them. Sarah stood frozen, tears in her eyes. Finally, she spoke. Maryam, I never knew about Mary wearing hijab. I never thought about it that way. Sarah, Maryam said gently, ignorance isn't a crime, but willful ignorance is. You could have asked me about my hijab anytime. You could have tried to understand instead of trying to shame me, but it's not too late to start now. Over the following weeks, something beautiful happened. Sarah began researching the history of women's head coverings in Christianity. Jessica invited Maryam to speak at the Interfaith Club. Priyanka wrote a series of articles for the school paper about different cultures' approaches to modest dress. Someone had recorded the entire exchange. Within days, the video went viral across Canada, with people sharing Maryam's calm, confident response to bullying. Comments poured in from Christians who had never considered the connection between Mary's dress and modern hijab, from Muslim girls inspired by Maryam's knowledge and confidence, and from educators who wanted to use the video in their diversity training. The most powerful comment came from a Catholic mother in Toronto. My daughter asked me why we honor Mary for covering her hair, but criticize Muslim women for the same thing. I had no answer. Thank you, Maryam, for opening our eyes. Today, Eastgate Secondary School has one of Canada's most successful interfaith programs, co-founded by Maryam and Sarah, who became close friends. They travel to schools across Ontario, sharing their story and teaching about the importance of understanding over assumption. The hijab, Maryam tells audiences, isn't hiding me. It's revealing who I really am. It announces that I'm a woman who chooses God over society's expectations, dignity over objectification, spiritual beauty over physical display. Just like Mary, mother of Jesus, chose 2,000 years ago. As she often says, looking out at diverse audiences with those striking blue eyes. When you see a Muslim woman in hijab, you're not seeing oppression, you're seeing strength. The same strength that made Mary worthy to be chosen by God, the same strength that makes any woman beautiful in Allah's sight. Sarah always adds with a smile, and sometimes it takes a blue-eyed girl from Mississauga to remind us that truth has no color, no accent, and no borders, only courage. The day Maryam's blue eyes saw through their lies became the day 3 bullies learned to see through their own ignorance. And that perhaps is the most beautiful transformation of all.